Good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, depending on where and when you're watching this broadcast. We've got a special show in for you today. Apparently, Lue Elizondo has a live broadcast going on, coming from TalkShop Live, where people have the opportunity to go ahead and order Lue Elizondo's book and ask a question. Lue Elizondo will be live for about 45 minutes, give or take. At least he's told us that on TalkShop Live, and we're going to be covering that live here for everybody to go ahead and watch this show. Looks like we've got some people showing up for the show this evening. Welcome, everybody. Good to have you here. Lou should get going in the next 6 minutes or so. We just want to get things started and welcome in an audience. Yes, I know I jumped right into it, but when you're going to be dealing with something like Lue Elizondo going off and answering some questions from the general audience, you know, if anybody has an interest in going and ordering a book from Lue Elizondo during the live broadcast, I'm going to go ahead and order a signed book live and ask a question to Lou. I'm going to go ahead and point the link. There you go in the chat. If anyone's watching, I'm going to go ahead and pin that particular broadcast for that chat for everybody to go ahead and see. And also, if you want to go ahead and join, I will go ahead and, you know, I'll have the regular chat up, but I'm not going to put up the viewer call in. But if you want to call in, talk about it when we got things going on and Lou's not talking, let me go ahead and just. Boy, I don't even have the chat up and going today. What am I doing? Yeah, I saw this stuff happening and was like, you know what, should I do it? Shouldn't I do it? I think the audience is pretty happy that I'm going to go ahead and bring us a little broadcast of Lue Elizondo live on camera talking about his book to people and see where it goes. Yes, we have Bill Davis from Pine Bush, New York is in the house. Idaho Strong is around. Good to see you, Idaho Strong. We got them showing up in chat. Where is it at? No, it's not. Wrong window. There we go. How about that as the audience builds? Who do we have out there? We have Neil Morgan. Welcome, Neil. Craig is here. Derek Daughtry. How about that? You're getting 500 server errors for the last 45. To TalkShop Live, luckily, I've been on this site. Hopefully, it's not going to go down. We'll find out. Haha, I don't even think I've got the link. Bill Davis says Pine Bush, New York is in the house. Good to see you. Idaho Strong showed up. Frankie Elliott. How about that? Any word on the unknown object that just crashed in Poland? No, I didn't hear about an unknown object. Apparently, you know, we have had Russian projectiles crashing into Poland before, so that could be something expected. Wildcat Mahone is here along with Necessary Dialogue. How about that? What else we've got going on? We've got Lou coming from Bill Davis. Avi M all the way from India. Good to see you, Avi, my friend. Frozen Fire, UAP, Lou, better believe it. Yo, peeps, Mr. Marcus Mandel. Thank you very much. Frankie Elliott from Pasadena, Boybank. Good to see you. Is the air still flavored where you can taste it? I remember back in the day I did live in Pasadena, and I did work in Glendale, which is right next to Burbank. And usually about this time of the year, there was a good essence. You could breathe in and get that wonderful taste. Marcus Mandel's here. Good to see you. Pine Bush, Nisokan? Exactly. You better believe it, my friends. Let's have some fun with it. Hopefully, Brian Davis is around. Yo, Brian Pemble. Is Brian Pemble here? I don't even see him, but potentially he is. It could be that chat of mine that's got... There he is, Brian Pemble. Neil Carr is around. How about that? Bunch of people are popping in. Yes, it's an unexpected show, and I hope this is going to go ahead and...
It's Lue Elizondo, and I'm coming to TalkShop.
Let me go ahead, and we've got Lue Elizondo in his trailer for this. Hopefully, it'll just go ahead and start. We're not going to get 500 errors like other people are getting, which could be like, oh, yeah, their servers are being overwhelmed. Go figure. Let's go ahead and bring that up. Desktop document solo. Let's go ahead and bring up Lue Elizondo talking about a little bit of an echo coming from his garage, but that's to be expected. Talking about what's going on here today. Here we go.
Hi, everybody. It's Lue Elizondo. And I'm
oh, wait a minute. I've got the wrong freaking window up. Oh. I've got the wrong window, but you know what? I should be coming in on guests, right?
At 7 p.m.
Yeah, right. It's coming on a guest. Since we have no guests, it'll be perfect. Let me go ahead and play this one more time. All right, here we go.
Hi, everybody. It's Lue Elizondo, and I'm coming to TalkShop Live on August 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. Tune in to hear all about my new book, Imminent, Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs and pre-order your autographed copy. Plus, you can ask me questions during the event. Follow my TalkShop live channels to be notified when I go live. See you soon and thanks.
Well, hopefully it's going to go live. We have the opportunity to get there, and we'll see where it's at. People are saying, let me go ahead and come in from my mobile device, make sure it's going to work. Otherwise, we could be sitting here with a show that's not going to happen. Go figure. But you know what? Hey, at least we're trying, aren't we? We are trying to say the absolute least. Let me look for Lou. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, posts aren't loading right now. What is wrong with Twitter? Jennifer Elizondo. Thomas, I'm watching your show. Thank you very much. How about that? Wonderful, Jennifer. Good to see you, my dear lady. Yeah, we're going to cover this, and hopefully, come on, this is your chance. You've got a question for Lou. This is your opportunity to go ahead and ask it and buy a book. Well, it's $8 more than Amazon. If you don't have Amazon Prime, you may have to pay for shipping, but either way, can't wait to see how good this broadcast is going to go. This is a chance for everybody to get a signed book from Lue Elizondo. And you may already have one book, but I will tell you this, my friends. If you don't have one, take it, gift it to a friend, gift it to someone in your family, and buy another one. And this one will be signed by Lue Elizondo. How about that? Who wouldn't want a book signed by Lou? Only $29.95 or $29.99. Yeah, $29.99. Holy cow, it's an opportunity of a lifetime. You've all heard from Lou. You've all wished you had you all wished that you had something from Lou that was personally signed by him. This is your chance to get it. And it's not that much more asking than the regular book that you could get. Holy cow. What a deal for everybody out there. All right, we just got a couple minutes or so before this thing is going to start right now. Let's go ahead and make sure if it's going to start there. Where's Lou at? He's not started yet, just the trailer is there. Full details.
It's Lue Elizondo.
All right, so let me go ahead and that.
At 7 p.m.
Oh, I've got that playing in the background. Let me quiet that down. Let me go ahead and change the actual link for buying the book. I've actually shared the broadcast. Oh, quiet down. Here we go. Let's go ahead and get this up and going. Let me redo a refresh here.
Hi, everybody.
Nope, not set yet to go, but hopefully it's going to start soon. Let me do a refresh on this. No, we haven't started yet. Let me go ahead and order a signed book from there we go. Let's go ahead and put this here. Replace the pin message. I've updated the book. The order for everyone to go. I guess it's the same link no matter what I do. Oh, here we go. No, I need to change it one more time.
All about my new book.
One more time. Oh. RDRA. There we go. Replace pin message. There you go. Yeah, I'm looking festive. Gotta enjoy the holiday spirits, my friends. Yes, it's summer. Gotta enjoy it. Okay, so we've got the link up there. Hopefully Lou will be starting shortly. I'll keep on refreshing. Oh, that's a different refresh. That is a different refresh. We got something going on here. Hopefully it's going to start soon. Let's try it again. Server 500 errors. That's okay. I've got it back over here. Server 500 errors. Come on. It's spinning. We can get there. Oh, no. TalkShop is too slow. Well, we've got the spinning wheel. That means potentially something could be starting. We're waiting for it to kick up. Copy link address. Let's try and get this going in Safari potentially as well. And the site has crashed. Oh my gosh, they can't handle Lue Elizondo. On that note, let me see if I can go ahead and get my viewer chat here up and going to give us some additional people to talk through this wonderful day. Nothing, and it's down. Jennifer, they crashed. No. All right, let's get back into the desk for a second. No, not that one. There we go. We'll wait for that to come up. It's just spinning. Hopefully we're going to get there soon. All right, let's get to meet. Oh, there we go. I'm seeing an image showing up. They probably had no idea on how many people were going to be joining. Isn't it? Well, if you're not on a CDN, a content delivery network, there's going to be an issue. Brian Pemble, welcome to the back, my friend. How are you? Uh-oh. No, this is just...
Yep, I'm doing good. Your icon's a little off here, but don't you love when things don't go as planned?
Yeah. Well, he's not live yet. He will be there soon. I've got the one page popped up, which is Lue Elizondo's page. We've got some of our friends jumping in the back. Welcome, Faze Will. How are you?
Hello. How are you, Thomas?
Good. Hopefully, Lou will get started here soon. Uh-oh, I've got a messages coming in. Oh, he's live on Instagram. They pulled it. Server crashed. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, so their server crashed. Let me see what I can do to get to Instagram. Well, we'll be up there in a second. They just sent me a new code to get into this. All right. Almost there. I haven't been on Instagram in years, I'll admit. 29413 continue. Got that. Stay logged in. Stay password. I want to get into Instagram. Thomas, we're almost there. It doesn't know me. There we go. Turn on. Not now. There we go. Let's see if I can find a link for Lue Elizondo. Hopefully it's going to be there. And he is live.
They're trying to silence us. That's not the case. It's certain elements in the government. But the good news is I also believe that there are elements inside the government that actually want to have this conversation take place. But yes, I thoroughly expect some significant pushback, elements within the government using proxies to continue to try to discredit me, to continue the same old humdrum, ATIP wasn't about UAPs, or I didn't have anything to do with it. I totally expect that. And so should you, by the way.
There's a lot of love coming through. I'm going to try and balance this out because I got a lot of love and a little bit of hate. And I think that in the nature of transparency, it's good to deal with some of these tricky questions too. There's so many people from around the world, you know, from the UK, someone here from Portland, Oregon. We've got people from Australia. We've got a lot of love coming through. You know, Brazilians are with the truth. That's from Waldy. Great work in the book, Lou, which is, we've got Tony Kane here waiting for a signed book. So much love.
Give me some hate, though. It's okay.
And I'm gonna bring in the hate, because someone here says, let me just try and find the comment.
Oh, don't bring in
Someone
the
says
hate.
it's a conflict of interest that you're profiting from the book. Do you agree with that? Do you disagree with that?
Well, first of all, let's face it. I don't have problems with making money. What I have a problem with is exploitation, making money at the expense or cost of other people. So no, I gave a good portion of my life to this, and I'm not asking. You don't have to buy the book. I have given a lot of information over the last 6 years completely for free. This was my motivation for writing this book, as I said before, was not for profit. It was to get my words down in a book. And as I said in the beginning, there's a very specific reason why I wrote this, because I knew it'd have to go for security review. Once it got out of security review and I got the green light, that means everything I'm now allowed to talk about, right? And that's huge, because there are things in here that I couldn't talk about before. So that was my motivation for writing the book, and that's why I wanted to do it. I understand maybe you're concerned that I'm trying to profit off this. That was not my motivation, and it is not my motivation.
One of the things that I found fascinating when we've discussed this topic quite a lot between us is I didn't realise the level of scrutiny in the review process for you to be able to put this out, because it's not like, I know you say kind of like a regular citizen, but of course you can't just say whatever you want.
I cannot.
If you're going to maintain your security clearance and you're going to maintain that ability to be a legal spokesperson for safe and reasonable disclosure, there's years of getting this approved by correct channels, right? So
yeah, that was a 3-year odyssey. I mean, the review process alone was almost a year itself, and it was a lot of back and forth. And even then, they redacted parts of this book, right? You can read and say, "Ooh, there's a part there that someone in the government doesn't want you to read," and I have to respect that. But I did try. Believe me, I pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and I do have to give some credit to the folks at the Pentagon who helped get this approval process, as slow as it may have been. They did their best to try to get as much as this through of this book through. So I'm very appreciative for that.
There's a really good point here from Quality Claim Sale. I don't know where you're from, but hi, saying I'm pretty sure his books and profits won't compare to the loss of salary and retirement.
Yes, and that is true. It has not been an easy ride at all. And it wasn't just me that had to suffer through this. It was my family. And ultimately, look, I don't care. I live under a bridge. It's not me. I've lived in tents before. It's about your family, right? When your family suffers because of a decision you make or a decision I make, and now our families suffer as a result of that, that's a big responsibility. And they were willing to do it on top of that, right? So really, the people are saying, "Oh, you were so brave, Lou." Not really. The people that deserve the credit are the people who suffered because of my decisions. I knew what I was getting into. My wife, my kids, not so much. And so for them to support me and continue to support me in this decision for the benefit of everybody, originally was what this was about, this is what motivated me, the credit really goes to them, because they're the ones who had to suffer financially. My wife and I went through a very difficult time for a while there. And it's still not easy. I'm not going to say I'm doing well by any stretch, because I'm not. The only thing I have of value tangible probably is this watch, which was given to me as a gift by my father. So
I love that one. Someone's just jumping in here. I'm assuming your name's Andre. I hope you're doing good. I just want to thank Lou for giving his military pension so we can all benefit from this information. So, yeah, fair enough. I love that a lot of people are saying you're an American hero, which must be nice to hear.
But I'm not, though.
Must be nice to hear.
I appreciate that. I'm not. Let me get this straight for everybody, for the record. I'm not a hero. I appreciate it. But look, when you say that, I suffer from imposter syndrome, because I know what a real hero is. I've served with real heroes, and they're not here to tell their story. Some of them never made it back from over there. So thank you. But in reality, I am not a hero. I'm doing anybody who was in my position, any of you out there, I am sure would have made exactly the same decision. When you take an oath to your country to defend all enemies, foreign and domestic, that's a lifelong oath. And that is, I am no different than anybody else in uniform. They do the same thing. So thank you for that honor that you're bestowing upon me, but it is not deserved. And I'm telling you to be the first person to tell you, I'm not a hero. I'm a patriot, but I'm not a hero.
Well, some of you might disagree with you on that. I mean, I think what you're doing is pretty damn cool. And I think there's a lot of love coming through on these comments. We're going to be here for another 5-10 minutes, so please make sure you fire your questions in if you can.
And I'm really sorry that TalkShop Live, they had the technical difficulty. We are going to do it, so don't think this is just passing this off. I am absolutely committed. We will do this again. So I just want to make sure you all know that.
Maybe that's one of the reprisals. Someone's taking your string down. No, I'm only joking. ASOR74 says, Lou, why wasn't the full gimbal video leaked?
Well, leaking is something I would never want to do. The videos that came out were never leaked. We went through an approval process. Remember, we went through the official 1910 process. We went through DOPSR, the Department of Defense Office of Pre-Publication Review. That's a mouthful, right? And security review. So they were never leaked. I never leaked them, and I don't encourage leaking. There's a difference. I want disclosure and I want transparency, but not at the cost of national security. And sometimes there's information that's embedded. There's metadata in videos that tell you time, place, location, right, and specifics that maybe the government doesn't want to be revealed because it's mission focused, right? We want to protect sources and methods. And so sometimes in videos, embedded in those videos, if you see a full video perhaps of some things, it can give you a complete picture of something that we as a country, we as a nation, aren't quite yet prepared to reveal publicly. Maybe it's a particular mission, right? A very sensitive mission that we don't want to tip our hand to the adversary that maybe we're in their backyard. So there are reasons to protect information. I'm an advocate of protecting national security information. What I'm not an advocate of is covering up information simply because it's embarrassing or because it's inconvenient to have the conversation. That I am not against. That I am against. I do not support that. So it's a balance, right? There's a requirement to protect information, while at the same time there's a requirement to be open with the American people and the world. So that's the balance I struggle with on a daily basis.
Well, I guess for those of you who are just joining us, we're obviously talking about some of the statements and the explorations in Lou's new book, Imminent. And a couple of people have asked this question now, so I'm going to put this one through because a few people have asked this one, particularly Rocky Woo. 96, hope you're good. This is a question that says, will Lou testify in Congress at the next hearing?
I will absolutely testify at any hearing that I am asked to testify at. I'm not going to speak for Congress. I cannot tell you when the next one's going to be, and I cannot tell you if necessarily I'm in the next one. But what I can tell you is that I've been asked if I would testify, and my response was a resounding yes.
I love that. Okay, I'm going through more of these comments. I'm going to try and read some of this. There's just lots of you saying that you're listening to the audiobook. You're halfway through it. Oh, there's a question.
Sorry, let me say something here. I have the sexy, smooth voice of a cement truck in high gear, doing 90 miles an hour. So I apologize if you have to endure my voice, but I do think it was important that you heard it in my words. These were my words. And I think it's a little disingenuous to hear my word from somebody else. There's a lot of personal information in here, and yes, I did it on purpose because I can't very well be an advocate for transparency with the government if I'm not willing to be transparent, right? And so I put a lot of myself out in this book, knowing I'd get a lot of flack, a lot of haters out there. I get it, but you got to walk the walk, right? And so that's why I did what I did, and that's why I chose to be transparent about myself and talk a little bit more, than maybe some people would be comfortable with. And that's why I want to do it in my voice, right? Because you hear it from me. It's me as it's happening, and it's my way of connecting with you because it's important. A lot of you know I read my Twitter comments, even though some of them aren't very nice. I do it because I don't want you to think that I'm just some guy over there that doesn't really care and just kind of out of touch. I do care. And I'm very much concerned about you and your question and your comments and your feelings because we're all humans. And that's what this is about. That's why I'm doing this interaction right now. I think it's important because I want you to know out there, I am actually paying attention to you. I do actually listen to you. I do read your comments, even if they're not very nice. I do pay attention because I do care about what every single person out there feels and how they feel about this topic.
And that's also part of the fun because I get to pick the questions. And, as you just saw, we're not just sending all the love. We're going to give a few challenging questions too.
Part of that reason is because my wife made me swear not to wear these glasses so I can read these comments.
I'll read them to you, honestly. It's all good.
So it's his fault if I don't get to your question, you can blame him.
Exactly.
Remember, Mark Kovich.
Well, again, I like asking questions where many people are asking the same thing. One of them is, do you see yourself penning a second book? Is this part of an ongoing series where you're gonna try and get whatever you can cleared as close to the line as possible in multiple years, or is this just a one-off?
I will always push the envelope. I will always go to the maximum extent possible to provide you the truth. but at the same time without compromising national security. And I think we can do it. People say, well, that's impossible. Well, it's only been, 6-7 years, and look how far we've come. Look how far, just all of us together. Look what we've been able to do because of what you're doing and you championing the cause and contacting Congress. There's now legislation, landmark legislation that's already been passed. New legislation that's coming up. There's an organization, it might be a little dysfunctional, but there's an organization right now in the government that's looking at UAPs. And guess what? They're starting to report on it, right? You're getting more visibility, more transparency, more accountability, which is exactly what this always has been about. Congress is now being informed. And when they're not being informed, they're not doing the right thing. They're demanding the truth, right? So your voice is resonating. And you don't have to necessarily be destructive in this process. There's a right, I've always said this before, there's a difference between doing things right and doing things right now. And we only have one chance to do it right. And so this is why I've chosen this path. Is it the right path? I don't know. We haven't done this before. So, at the end of the day, maybe there's a more effective way to do it. But I don't think at the risk of compromising national security, I don't think we have to do that.
Spot on. There's a very important question here. This is from, I'm assuming Dougal, Doug Lexand. Lou, did you beat Jeremy Corbell in arm wrestling?
That is one of the mysteries of life.
Mysteries of the universe.
We're going to have to
skip that, huh?
Yeah.
All right, well, next question then.
Here's still out.
Here's a good question from Cheris Tristan. So Tristan is a great question. Do you believe private industries such as Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman are in possession of this material?
I made it very clear. Great question. Hard question. I got to be careful what I say. I made it very clear in my book that was approved by the Pentagon for no classified information, that there are elements within the defense industrial base that are in possession of exotic material that is most likely non-human made. So again, I'm walking right up to that line, right, without going over it, because I know if I put a pinky over that line, someone's going to be there to get really mad at me. And what I don't want to happen is someone do something where I can't have this conversation with you anymore. So I'm going to walk right up to that line. I can't cross it, but I just said what I said. I believe very strongly.
Love that.
So do others.
Tom Flores from Las Vegas says Lou is a total stud. I think you pulled there, Lou. Another question from.
Thank you.
You know what? This isn't necessarily. Oh, this is a great question actually. This is from Tenestron. From wherever you're tuning in. Hi, and if you are just joining us, we're obviously talking about a couple of the statements in Lou's new book, Imminent, and we're just going through a couple of questions. We only have really about 5 minutes left, so please fire them in. This question says, Lou, firstly, thank you for being a patriot and a hero for your wife, your family, and our country. What is your pulse check on the UAPDA 2.0 passing in the Senate and the House?
Man,
that one's from me.
That's a heck of a fight going on right now. There's elements that are absolutely fantastic, but then there is some folks that have serious heartburn about certain portions of it. Look, I think any legislation to increase transparency is good. But I also can recognize and respect the views of other people who say, look, maybe this legislation is either too restrictive or maybe there's something. Look, laws are always a compromise. No one is, if you ever look at a law, like a bill that goes through Congress, nobody's ever totally satisfied. In fact, there's kind of a saying in Congress, if everybody's mad, it's probably a good law, because there's had to been compromise by somebody all the way around, right, on both sides. Not that I necessarily wish it was that way, but it tends to be kind of true, right? So not everybody's going to get everything they want all the time. And so life is about compromise. Rules, laws are about compromise. Politics is about compromise. And so I'm hoping that this, what finally comes out, is signed, and I hope it is a compromise. And I hope everybody, gets a little something out of it that helps push us, ever closer to full disclosure and transparency.
This is another question that's been asked by a bunch of people on this thread, and please forgive me, these questions are coming through a billion miles an hour. I can't get to all of them. I'm just trying to group the ones that have been asked a couple of times. This is, I can't shout the names, there's tons of them, all asking the same thing. Can you talk a little about the 2 Roswell incidents?
Wow, sure. There were 2 incidents. Let's look at it holistically. What was Roswell back in the late 1940s? Well, it was a strategic base for the United States. We had just entered the atomic age, right? And there were very few platforms aircraft that were designed to carry the atomic bomb. Back then, we didn't have missiles. You had to actually carry them on an aircraft. And so a lot of testing was being done in the Los Alamos and New Mexico area. In fact, most of the testing during the atomic age was being done out there. And so there is some speculation, a little bit more than speculation, frankly, that these UAP, we've long known there's been an interest in our nuclear capabilities, right? On nuclear development, nuclear propulsion, nuclear weapons, nuclear whatever, nuclear technology. And it turns out that the only place really where any type of real testing was being done for delivery and manufacturing was out there in the New Mexico area. So the gaining theory is that Roswell may have been an accident. We may have been testing something out there, and these things are interested in what we're doing, and then all of a sudden, poof, something goes wrong, and the propulsion units of the things fail. And we didn't know until these things crashed. So
it's a very, very common question, and I realize that as Lou has said a couple of times, there's that line, isn't there? There's that line that we've got to be careful.
So the B-29 was the aircraft that was being used at the time to deliver atomic weapons for the United States. And there was only a few that had been modified, and that's really where they were located, was over in that area. So there's some really strong congruencies there that really point to in one direction.
There's still a bunch of questions. Like I said, I do apologise because I'm not going to be able to get to all of them. As you can see, Lou, there's just thousands and thousands and thousands of questions. Firstly, I want to say it's really amazing to do this little live with you. It's a shame that TalkShop Live didn't actually go as planned, but there are so many people in the comments saying that they either have ordered this or that they're reading it or listening to it already, the new book imminent. The last question I'm going to choose is another one that has been asked a bunch of times. I think it's another tough question, but the question is, this is from Sam, Greg, Rodrigo, and who else was at the end? This was from maybe Marcus. A bunch of people asking this. If you imagine everything you know and you were to just spill the beans on all of it, what do you think the worst case scenario is?
Wow. I don't want to imagine that scenario, first of all. I don't look good in an orange jumpsuit, and I certainly, I'm kind of an old guy, but I'm not really ready to be put underground. Look, there's been a lot of people intimidated by this. A lot of good people that have tried to come forward, and not the government, not everybody in the government, but certain elements within the government have worked very hard to stifle that conversation. I know what certain organizations are capable of doing, and I know what their motivations may be. So I want to be very careful. Let me go back to my original argument to this: is there's a right way and there's a right now way. If we do this the right way, I don't have to consider the unimaginable. I don't have to worry about my house being swatted. I don't have to worry about going to jail, or worse, fill in the blanks. We don't have to do that. We can do this in a constructive way and not a destructive way. And I think if you look over the past few years, it's working. That strategy is actually working. I don't want to put my family in harm's way. I've already done that. I already have enough people that are coming after me, and I've had death threats, and it's a nightmare. But I'm willing to do that. But what I don't want to do is do something that is, creates this element of one might call catastrophic disclosure. I don't think we need to do that. I think it's unnecessary, and I think as long as we continue to do it the way we're doing now, I could be wrong. I'll be the first one to admit if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I think we will achieve success, and we'll do it in a way that's legal and ethical, and everybody wins.
Well, I don't know whether you're all catching up on these comments, but there's an army of people who are with you along for that ride. There's a lot of love coming through. Thanks for joining this live stream. Like I said, it's a shame we couldn't get the TalkShop Live running, but hopefully we'll do this again sometime.
We will do it again.
Yeah.
And, let this hopefully be a freebie for you guys. I love interacting with you. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate it. I can see the hearts and all that stuff coming up, so I'm not that blind. Thank you. And this is only me. Let me give you a little message here. This is only happening because of you. Because of your support, because you have continued to demand the truth. This is not a pep talk. This is fact. This is real. We are here because of you, not because of Lue Elizondo, but because of each and every one of you that's tuning into this. those of you who have, I put in my book, if you look, you can see in the acknowledgments, I acknowledge you. You're the ones that are making this happen on the Twitter sphere and social media. You have created a movement, a profound movement. And hopefully, you know, I'm thankful to you because hopefully my kids will be able to grow up in a new paradigm, right? Where we don't have to talk like this about this topic. It becomes open discussion, open dialogue for all of us. So thank you for being part of this. Thank you very much.
There we go, everybody. Holy cow. That was a spur of the moment. Let me get back to desktop, desk, Zoom. Here we go. That was, oh, Studio Zoom. Here we go. That was a spur of the moment interview coming from the one, the only Lue Elizondo. We didn't ask the questions here. It was supposed to be for TalkShop Live, a site where you could go ahead for $29.99. Not only could you go ahead and order Lue's book, but ask a question and go along with it. So order your book through TalkShop Live, and Lue will come back, and he will be answering all the questions that goes along with it. It's an exciting opportunity. I'm right in the middle of a bunch of things going on for the office right now that I need to jump for. I want to thank everybody for coming out, for watching this. Holy cow. I want to thank the people in the back who kind of jumped in. Faiswell, looks like you're the only one left along with Michael Sokoloff. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Yeah, it was fun, Thomas. Thank you so much. Thank you, Thomas.
Absolutely. Yes, spur of the moment jump on, but who wouldn't want to hear from Lue Elizondo? We even heard from some of the Elizondos on my phone. So a wonderful day. I want to thank everybody for coming out to Disclosure tonight for this quick impromptu live broadcast. And as we usually say at the end of every broadcast, eyes open, no fear, be safe, everyone. But we'll be back tomorrow. Catch you all later. Good night, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.